Alright, hi, I'm Kurt Hamel, and today we're going to be talking about the basics of Google AdWords and Google's pay-per-click ad platform. I do website design and online marketing, in particular SEO and pay-per-click ads, for small businesses and professionals. I'm located in Detroit, Michigan, and so I hope you guys join me today and learn a bunch about Google AdWords platform and their pay-per-click ads. So, and if you like what you hear today, please like and subscribe. And there's already some links in the description of this. And just go down there for any things. And you check me out at kurthamel.com, where I'll have a full post of this posted tomorrow. So let's begin. All right. So today, what is like Google AdWords? So Google AdWords is Google's big ad platform. It's how they actually generate money, how they became a gajillion-dollar company back in the day. Basically, when you search something on Google, there are ads that have popped up, and people pay for those. It's the top results whenever a Google thing pops up. And it also now pops up on Google Maps, and around tons of other websites around the web are powered by Google advertisements. Google also uses this platform their YouTube advertisements. Google owns YouTube, so all the ads you see on YouTube are from that platform, and any other Google advertisement thing around the web. In my opinion, Google AdWords, which is built on top of Google Analytics, it's all just part of the Google package, has the best tracking and data knowledge on the web. People tell their true self to Google.com when they're searching in, and Google basically knows everything about everyone and everything, from what we enter and from crawling the web with its web crawlers. So with all that power, they are probably the best advertisement platform for anyone that's not selling a visual product. I would say Facebook and Instagram are better if you're selling a physical small product online, like if you're doing a Shopify store, but that's a talk for next week. But now we're going to go into some of the details. And at the end of this, I'll go into some more real-life examples, Google pay-per-click and Google AdWords, how to set up your account and everything like that, and what you should be looking for in setting up these accounts. So some of the things I'm going to talk about today are, first off, you don't need to spend a lot of money to get into this. It can be as little as like 20 bucks, I think. Maybe it's 10. You don't have to spend a lot. And in the link below, I have a link how you can get a free $75. I think it's if you spend 25 or something like that. So you basically get $100 to play around with for 20. Basically, put in $25, and that'll give you a great amount to use this knowledge to play around with. There's a lot of, and they will always be sending you coupons in the email to give you like another free, $100, $200 here and there too, if you don't use it too much. So it's kind of fun to just fool around with once in a while. Number two, don't really try to overcomplicate things with Google AdWords. You don't need, for most people, unless you are a mega online marketer, you don't need to overcomplicate your process using this program. That's why today we're going to go into the basics, and that's really all you'll need to know for Google AdWords. It's pretty simple. You don't need to go through all the back-end stuff, just the basic stuff on Google AdWords. That is the bread and butter, and that'll get you traffic. And that's the thing with pay-per-click ads. You're only paying for every time someone clicks on the ad, and I'll get more into that later, but just because it shows up on someone's feed doesn't mean you're paying for it necessarily. So you don't have to worry about just, it's not like a TV ad where you're just spending money for just eyeballs on it, hopefully. You're actually getting results every single time you run an ad campaign on Google. And I guess finally is Google AdWords is not an instant result. Things take time. Just kind of like organic SEO, creating an ad campaign is not going to be an overnight result. Basically, they use their back-end artificial intelligence to help see what kind of advertiser you are and see if you make sure you're not a scammy advertiser. And then basically, if you are advertising an actual product, like let's say you're an attorney and you are advertising your defense services, and it goes to a great website that has defense practices and people actually respond correctly to this ad, they actually rate you higher, and I'll talk about that more later too. But it takes time for these ad campaigns to really work, and you need to really be testing different ad strategies, which we'll talk about. But it's not an overnight thing. It's not that complicated, but it does take time, and don't expect to do all this in 2 days and start getting results the best possible in a week. You'll figure out which ads work for you, which don't, and get rid of those bad ones. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, for most people, I'd say Google AdWords is the best advertising platform on the internet. And number two after that would be uh, Facebook and Instagram, or Bing, I guess, depending. Bing is always out there. Bing's advertising platform is very similar to Google's, so if you ever wanted a lot of the stuff I'm talking about today, you can also use Bing's advertising stuff too. So once we actually get into the ad, there's a few parts to starting a new ad campaign, which I'll go over more so at the end. But sorry, one sec. The sneeze. Um, you got the headline of your ad, which is the main part. Here, we'll just go. I will bring up really quick to show you. I don't know. This is the first thing that popped into my head. Roller skates. So when you see roller skates, this is what we're talking about today. This is all of the different ads right here. This is for a product. So maybe not the best thing. Let's say divorce attorney. Hopefully none of you are getting divorced. I'm sorry if you are, but this is just so this is what a lot of the ads will look like if you're not selling a product. If you honestly are selling a product, next week we'll be talking about Instagram, Facebook advertising. I'd say that's an even better place for product stuff, but as you can see, they do it on Google too. But this is your headline right here. This is your beginning part. This is your description down here, and this is the website you're linking to. So these are the three main parts of the ad. It's pretty much that simple. Obviously, we're gonna have to go into like how you pick what keywords you want Google to target with that. But these are the basically only parts you have to write. Look how this would take you what, 2 minutes to write up. It's pretty much it's just your quick little 10-second elevator pitch. It's not even a minute. You got boom, boom, boom. So it's got to be related to what the person's looking for and reel them in really quick. And once again with that, you can test out. You don't have to, when you're running a pay-per-click campaign, it's not all just one campaign. So you can put, let's say you put $100 into a campaign. That doesn't mean you have to run one ad. You can run multiple ads and test them against each other during the same time frame. So yeah, let's say you have $500 that you want to invest into your advertisement campaign. That doesn't mean you should just run one ad and blow $500 on it. No, that means you should probably run $20 on that ad, $20 another, and do some testing between that. We'll get more into that in a second. And so, yeah, there's like that gets into keywords. Which a few weeks ago I did a keyword research webinar, which you can look back to. I'll put that in the description after. But if you go to my channel and look at, if we go. Either way, if you go to my channel, you can see Google Keywords webinar that I did a few weeks ago, or on my blog. That's how you do keyword research. I'm not going to go over that in this video since I already did it a few weeks ago. But once you do some keyword research through your niche, you can really target those keywords. And I'll show you how to do it at the end in actual going through the AdWords part. But similar to, you also use Google Analytics, which I went over last week, to track all your data on your website. That can also be used to track how your ad campaigns are doing, what the conversion rates are, and see if it's really worth it for you in the long run to continue doing pay-per-click campaigns. So first off, when you're creating a new Google pay-per-click advertisement, you need to choose smart keywords, and that's what I'm talking about researching. And you got to be thinking, if you're advertising, you got to choose if you're advertising locally versus like at the state level versus nationally versus globally. So a lot of people run a smaller business, they're only advertising locally. You can choose your area, but you might have a business that is an online business, and you can choose to do like the entire US to advertise to, or global even. That's very rare unless you're a large company. You're probably not watching this video if you are. So you need to do that research on your keywords and your target audience, where that is, and choose that. And once again, I'll show this all at the after. And you need to do all this so that you're not just throwing away money at random things. You don't want to be paying to advertise to someone in New York City if you only work with people in LA, for example. That would be a waste of your money. And even more so, if you live in LA, you don't want to be advertising to people in San Francisco if you don't really make that connection that often. Even if you're in the same state, that could still be out of your territory. So you can really narrow it down to just what city you're in. And also, while you're thinking about this, creating good ads leading to a good website is important. If you do not have a high quality website, I wouldn't even recommend doing all this pay-per-click advertisements, because Google actually ranks their advertisers. So if you have a web page that converts, that you're sending people to from your advertising, I mean, first of all, it helps you, so you're not wasting your money, but it'll also rank your ads higher. So there's like 3 ads normally in the groupings. You will get listed first in that ad group if you are ranked as a better advertiser on Google. And with that, you have to actually buy the ads too. So all ads on Google's AdWords pages, you basically pay for the keyword you are targeting, and those different keywords are all auction priced. So if a lot of people pay for one keyword, that means it's going to be more money. That's going to be more expensive the more popular that keyword is to advertise to. That also, though, means that keyword's probably a good one to pay for an advertisement for. Obviously, you have to do the math in your head. A lot of people say avoid the expensive keywords, but I would say avoid them only starting out, especially when you're testing. You don't want to pay for the expensive ones and waste money, but a lot of times they're expensive for a reason. They convert a lot of the time, and someone, let's say you're looking for a barber, you don't want to be, and maybe that's the most expensive, like barber near me might be expensive to pay for an ad, but you know what? That's probably the person who's actually looking for a barber near them, or barber in Detroit, or whatever it is that your profession is. Just insert that and insert, I mean, it's going to be more expensive for that versus, I don't know, a less direct term that might not actually convert 100%. So you got to keep that in mind when you're looking at all these prices, and I'll show you what those prices look like and fluctuate too. And to do all that, we're going to be using, it's a cool tool just like you do for SEO research. It's called Google Keyword Planner, and it'll show you all the prices in a range. So you don't actually pay for the ads up beforehand. You basically, it tells you the range, basically what it thinks the ads are worth, and you put a limit on how much you want to spend. Let's say it's $20 on that ad, and let's say it's $1 a click or something. After you hit 20 clicks, boom, you're out of money for that, and it'll ask you to re-up. So, and they'll fluctuate too. Sometimes you can be paying, maybe someone just wants to pay more one day. Sometimes prices go up and down, so keep an eye on that. And when you're creating these ads, you really want to be testing them against each other. So you might try different keywords that are very similar, that target the same audience. For example, let's go, we're talking about barbers. You might want to target like haircuts in my area versus barbers in my area, and see which ones that obviously get more specific than that, like the place in this area with your city or whatever, and you can go even more descriptive. And so the more descriptive you go, sometimes the cheaper they get, but you got to remember not as many people are searching that term. But once again, you're only paying per click, so it doesn't really matter. It just might take a longer time to convert all those people to your listing. And a big question when you're thinking about money spending on these ads, how much is that new potential client or customer worth to me? If you spend $50 to get one new client, that may or may not be worth it for you. For, let's say you're an attorney, obviously that's very worth it for you, because you're going to possibly make hundreds or thousands of dollars off that new client. If you are selling something more competitively priced, like falafels or something, that might not be $50 for one new customer. It depends. If that's just a one-time customer, maybe. So this is things you got to think about when you're looking at these ads. Just like any advertising, whether it's on a billboard or here, what are my expected returns? And that's why you kind of want to test around with the platform for a while with maybe 100, 200 bucks, because you can see what your conversion rates are. And once again, this a lot of that conversion rate, like, yeah, they'll click on the ad on Google, but you want to make sure when they're on your website they're also having a good experience and maybe signing up for an email list, downloading some free stuff you're giving out on your website, taking a course, whatever it is. And so that's another reason you got to make sure that you have a great website for that, that's willing to convert people. And now I'm going to go into and show actually what the ad platform looks like really quick. Here we go. So we're going to switch to screen. So this is the, this is GoogleAdWords.com, as I listed below. And once again, I have a link in the bottom. If you have never signed up for AdWords before, check that link in the description. I think it gives you free $75 worth of ads. If you spend X amount, it's $100 or less dollars. But if you've never started out, they do want to incentivize you to use their program. So they give you some free money to fool around with. So you would start now clicking this button, sign up and everything, but I would really recommend not actually just doing this right away. Use that link, get the free money. You don't want to just if you open one up though, they will still send you coupons in the email if you don't spend any money right away, so don't worry. If you don't spend money, they will send you some good deals. So I don't actually use pay-per-click ads for my own website, but this is kind of what the overview looks like. And so we can see these are the clicks. That tells you all the data. You can see all the conversion ratings. And so if I come here, I can click New Campaign. Obviously, new form of payment required. So once you open an account, they're going to want, that red bar will just be up there unless you have a campaign going with payments going. And so the number one thing most of you are going to do is a search campaign. And let's just start out with website traffic. Let's say you're trying to bring some more traffic to your blog post. Now, these are the different ones. So sales, if you're selling products, this is what you're going to want to use. Leads, if you have a lead generation, like if you have a page you want to send to with a sales funnel that possibly collects someone's email address to either join a newsletter or download a program, that's what you want to use. But website traffic is what we're going to start with, just getting people to your website, most basic, but obviously not the most direct, so you got to think about that. Let's just say now you don't have to type in a full URL, you can type a web page on your website too. And this is my example campaign. If you guys ever have any questions, please ask it in the chat or comment below and I will respond to you, and you can find me on social media and at kurthamel.com with any further questions too. But so this is just kind of what it looks like. And you can target all these locations. Most of us will just be targeting the US, but if you're outside of the US targeting, there's other stuff. Most of us are targeting English, but you can add, you can add Spanish to this, or whatever language it is. Most languages that people speak. Enter the average you want to spend each day. So let's say we want to spend $10 a day. But maybe if you're just starting out, maybe it's 20. It depends on what your budget is, but I really recommend keeping it small when you're just starting out so you can kind of get a feel of how it works. Because especially most of you, if you're just starting out, are going to get poor conversion rates when you start. So a poor conversion rate is just going to infuriate you. So you don't want to spend too much money and just kind of blow it. Because honestly, you're going to blow some money at the beginning, but that's why they give you a bunch of free money, like the 75 or free $100 to extra to spend, so you don't feel too bad when you mess up your campaigns at the beginning. And so what do you want to focus on? Conversions value, or clicks? Conversions, it depends on how you have your page set up, what your funnel is like. If you're doing a conversion funnel, you want it to be a conversion. Right now, if we're just trying to draw blog traffic, we'll go clicks, but let's see what the conversions look like. And it describes everything over here on the right. You can see conversions are actions on your website, app, or store that you define. And so that's like buying a product, signing up for a newsletter, downloading something, that kind of stuff. Whereas clicks are just, going to the page. Clicks on your ad and they'll be sent to your web page. And how do you want to get clicks? You can manually set the bids or automate. Most of this stuff you want to leave it natural, but this is one thing you have to pick: conversions versus clicks. This is optional. Leave this blank most of the time, but you can also put a bid limit there. And we can set the date. So if you don't want to start it right away, you can set a date for any time in the future. Let's say you want to start it next week, because we're just planning this week, and we're going to start actually the campaign next week. And we only want to go for 1 week, so right there. And then here's a bunch of other stuff you can add. If you can even add it to your phone number and stuff like that. And as you can see, it gets even more complicated down here. But these probably you want to choose more so. Wow, sorry, I'm getting tumbled in my words. Depending on how complicated your search is, the more stuff you want to add. But really, if you're just trying to get people to your website, you don't need to go super in depth. But I would really recommend at least creating a funnel. And maybe I'll make a video on creating conversion funnels at a future date, but right now I don't have one up. But if you ever want to know more about that, email me, contact me. Just Google conversion funnel, website conversion funnel, or website sales funnel to figure out what those are. But either way, we'll save and continue this. I'm not actually doing a real campaign right now, just showing for the examples. Add group standard or dynamic, you just want standard. So if you already have a full website that's properly done and everything, so it knows it's taken this from my website because I have Google Analytics installed on my website, exactly what my main keywords are. So right there it's offering me SEO, online marketing, internet, what is SEO, SEO services. They get my business because my website's done properly, so they can take all that info from there. And so obviously you can see these are the monthly searches, which also, if you go back to my Google Analytics video, I'll show you how to really browse all this the other way instead of creating it straight from the ad platform. You probably want to learn your advertisement stuff. You want to research all this before you get to this point, most likely. But it does, if you have a fully created website, it'll show you what your top stuff is right away. Ad groups, so Detroit, SEO or something like that for me, whatever it is you do, and you do well. Let's just save and continue. And I wanted to show you how to create the ad really quick. So this is just to send it to my blog, let's say that. Headline 1, Amazing Detroit SEO blog. And now, this is just an example. If I was really doing this more so, I would have used one of my landing pages to convert people to. This is not really what you'd want to do unless you're really just trying to drive traffic to a blog, which I would not recommend if you have no real strategy. I would really recommend creating at least something that the consumer wants. So if they go to your website, they're either looking for your services already and direct them to the correct page for that. On specifically whatever you're advertising to. If you're a lawyer, don't just have them go to your homepage. Have them go to, if you're advertising for drunk driving defense, have them go to a page specifically about that. If you don't have that page, create that page before you create the landing campaign. If you're a barber, once again, we were talking about that. Create a page specifically, if it's men's haircuts, just create an amazing page, landing page for that. Hopefully with a form they can fill out to contact you or sign up or make an appointment. If you are more of selling a product, make sure that product is linked to the correct page for that product, because you need to be converting on these ads. Don't just start an ad campaign for no reason. You need to really make sure you have a good website that's actually going to convert these people, or else you're literally just giving Google your money for no reason. And they'll love you for it, but it's just going to make you frustrated with their services, even though it's your website. It's probably not up to par, not their services. But and it can show you mobile and desktop, what they look like here. And this is the next part of the advertisement here. So you kind of want amazing SEO blog, learn from the best in Detroit. This was kind of a campaign I was thinking about doing once if I just wanted to boost some traffic to my website. Turns out organic is better for me, but you got to figure out for yourself what that is, or hire a consultant, which I do. And so the description here, Kurt's weekly, blah blah blah. But you know, this stuff goes underneath, and so done. Save and continue. So we got one ad done. Now you're gonna want to probably create a few of these. You know, test them against each other. All right, sorry, I gotta put. If you guys don't have an HTTPS website, make sure you get one of those soon. That's a security feature that came out a while ago. Most websites have them now, but a lot do not. So make sure your website has that. If you need any help with that, see, you should not be on HTTP anymore. Unless, I mean, it's fine if you're not taking any data at all, but for security reasons, you should. Alright, so we're going to continue to the campaign. We created this campaign. Your campaign is ready. And so now, if I put my credit card in, it would start doing that. But we're not going to do that today. But that's pretty much it for Google AdWords beginnings. If you really want to see what that looks like once you actually start paying for the ads, I'll really quickly show that. And then, yeah, that'll be about it. But if you liked what you heard today, please give me a like, a subscribe, and I'll do this every Wednesday. Next week I'll be going into the Facebook and Instagram half of this advertising world, but this is a demo account from Google. So if we look at acquisition down here, this is on the Google Analytics side of things. Once you have your tracking on, you can actually see what Google AdWords. You can look at the campaigns individually. Through AdWords also you can do this, but this is through your analytics. It'll track everything, seeing how much you spend and everything right here. So it all goes together in the end. Your SEO, your analytics, your keyword research, all that is in the Google platform, all on one page under analytics once you get everything set up. But that's pretty much for ads today. That's just the basics. Obviously, let me know if you have any questions, and if not, check me out at kurthamel.com or on social media. Alright, I will see you guys next week. Alright, thank you very much.